it's the end of the year. This is my end of the year goodbye video. End of seventh grade. You could think of it as like what I would say on the last day of school. So I'm very sentimental. I like a kind of full circle thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start where we started with my first day of school Google Slides presentation with some of the things I said then, and I just want to reflect on them now. So, on the first day of school, I talked about my philosophy of education, which is how I think about education, and it informs why I'm a teacher. Okay, so to begin, I started with this Michelle Obama quote, which was empower yourselves with a good education and then get out there and use that education to build a country worthy of your boundless promise. Of course, this is still one of my favorite quotes ever. As a reminder, it means that the way I think about education, right, is that you should and you can empower yourselves, meaning give yourself power with a good education, and then use that power to make the country a better place, a country that's worthy of you. And I still feel that very strongly today. Similarly, we have Nelson Mandela's quote, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And then a quote by Pablo Freire. I'll read in Spanish, so those of you who can speak Spanish can get a kick out of my inability to speak Spanish. La educación no cambia el mundo, cambia a las personas que van a cambiar el mundo. Okay, education does not change the world, it changes the people who change the world. And as I wrote, education gives people power, and I believe you will use that power to make the world more just or more fair. So I just don't think there's a time more relevant than right now to be reflecting on this philosophy of education I hold and how I think about education. We're in quite a time in the world at the moment, and we are seeing pretty significant change. We're seeing protests and riots and uprisings following the murder of George Floyd and also Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery. Really, but not just, of course, them. We're seeing an uprising responding to the police brutality and systemic racism that we have in the United States. And it's been scary, but right now, and it's okay if you're not feeling this way now or if you never do, I'm starting to feel fairly inspired by it. I have a different social media following than I'm sure most of you do, since I'm older than you and from a different place. I have college friends, I have high school friends, elementary school friends, my parents' friends on Facebook and Instagram who are seeming to care about police brutality, about Black Lives Matter in a way I've never seen before. I've seen some who have seemed to always care, but it's been a significant upturn. See, if you look at lots of book websites, books by African American authors about race, they're off the charts in the past week. So I think this is a time where I see change might come. And at least something of this is progress. Now, doesn't mean we should have to go through this. It definitely doesn't mean you should have to go through this. But I feel like this is a time where I'm seeing that people are becoming aware, people are becoming educated, and people are using the education they have, and not just the education, but some people are using the education to plan protests, to be impacting their offices, their workspaces, to try to make a better world. And I really, really believe that you will do that. Also, just worth mentioning, of course, this is also the time of coronavirus, right? Why we're not together right now. Again, I won't try to comfort that or that loss, but I see opportunities for a more just world, a more just healthcare system. So much better that can happen, and some people starting to see that in a new way. So I hope that you're seeing that, and you continue to think about the ways that education does give people power, both kind of structurally, the systems we live in, having an education like a traditional school education gives people power in the world, gives people money. But then there's also the education that you can get from reading, from researching, from YouTube videos, from just being engaged and interested in the world, that gives people power to make the world a better place. And after knowing you all for the past year, I feel without a doubt that you will use that power to make the world a better place and make it more just. So I hope to see you do that, and I know you can. Okay, and then the other thing I wanted to reflect on was my commitments to you. I had you look at your Dear Math letters, think about what you said about math in the beginning of the year, and then reflecting about how you feel now. So this is, you can some degree think about it that way, for me, but with teaching. So I told you that I will hold you to high academic expectations because I know you can accomplish them, and because the world needs you. I do believe that's something I've done to the best that I can and done fairly well, is try to hold you to high academic expectations. That's looked differently given coronavirus, given what's going on. We need to have reasonable high expectations. But I hope you think that, and I do feel that I have done that. And I would say my encouragement for you all to continue trying to learn this summer is built on that idea that I do believe you can achieve a lot. And I want you to achieve a lot and learn a lot and know a lot because I think the world needs you. And I know you can do all those things. Okay, for my second one, I will treat you with kindness and respect. And if you ever think I'm not, please respectfully tell me, and I will take responsibility for it. So I don't think in every moment of this year I have treated all my students with kindness and respect. I can think of moments where I let my emotions and my frustration get the best of me. There was a lot this year that I wasn't necessarily prepared for, largely, frankly, with the kind of like disrespect and lack of kindness that people treated me with. But my core belief that I told you then, and I still believe, is that that doesn't matter. That it's no good happens from being rude back to someone who's rude to you. I do think that when I have crossed that line, I have taken responsibility for it, but you might feel like there are moments when I haven't, and I just want to tell you now, if that was the case, I do apologize. I did the best I could this year, and I do respect all of you, and I tried to and hope to continue to try to treat you with the kindness and respect that you deserve. Okay, my third one. I am not cool. I was never cool. I will embarrass myself for your entertainment, and more so you might feel comfortable to go outside of your comfort zone and take risks in this classroom and outside of it. Well, I can definitely still say I'm not cool. That didn't change. And I do feel like that's something I've lived up to. To me, this was a lot talking about the song of the week, which I'm excited to hear your feedback about in the end of the year survey. I think it's important in 7th grade, which is a very hard year, period. If it wasn't for you, fantastic, but generally that's a very hard year for people. There's so much social pressure, you're trying to figure out who you are, and it's so easy to feel like you need to conform and be something that you might not be. And I hope to model for you that, it's okay to be yourself, it's okay to be silly, it's okay to be bad at things and still do them anyway if they make you happy. And, to be able to put up with a little bit of criticism when you're being yourself. And I hope, I hope to the best I could you saw that from me this year. I had a good time in the process, but I hope you remember that lesson as you have a lot of more years of your life until it becomes a lot easier to stop caring what people think. So as you continue to do that, I hope with the best you can, you try to remember that you're fantastic people just as you are, and the world deserves exactly who you are. And lastly, I will be far from perfect, but I will try my best to be the teacher you deserve. And trust me, I know it was far from perfect this year. I, can think of lots of bad moments, lots of bad days. But I absolutely tried my best to be the best teacher for you all every day. And I hope you saw that. I hope you saw me never really giving up, even for hard times. And I hope you see me learn and grow as I saw you learn and grow this year. This was my first year teaching in like a full all by myself sense. And you all eventually knew that, I would say. But yeah, there's nothing in many ways I could do about a lot of the mistakes I think I made when I look back on it. There's a lot of things I would have done differently, but there's a lot of things I know that I didn't know how to do differently at the time. And I think that's okay to admit. I think it's important for me to be honest with you and to be honest with myself that I had a lot to learn this year, and I think I learned a lot. I think at the end of the day, you still learned a lot too. I think you learned a lot of math, and I think you learned a lot of other stuff. So I have a lot of growth that I look forward to doing. I'm sorry you got me at this stage in my life, but I'm so thankful you were part of it. Even when we had some bad moments together, I'm thankful so much for the year. And I'm thankful for you. So, without further ado, let me just tell you a little bit about the wonderful people that you are, that I've had the pleasure of getting to know this year. Alright, so 704 now, I'm just going to go through each of you, one by one, in alphabetical order, and tell you a few things that I really respect and appreciate about you and that I've gotten to learn this year. So, Hanif, you have such a good heart. You are respectful, you're kind to me, to others, and you've shown huge growth at the end of this year, particularly online. It's been lovely getting to teach you, and I'm so thankful that you were in my class this year. CJ, you have a big heart, and you are silly, and I love silliness. You really want to be good, and that might feel like a strange thing to say, but you really, really want to be good. And you are good. I hope you know you are good. And you can do so much good in the world. It's been a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Faith, you really went out of your way to help me this year, to help me clean up, to make sure I was doing okay. Just incredibly kind and been fantastic support for me, which is a really special thing. You're a lovely, lovely person, and it was so great getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Nyla, you too are silly. You're yourself, you're kind, and you're incredibly hardworking, all of which will take you very far in life. I am so thankful you were in my class this year. Mary, you have a huge heart. You're always willing to help out other people, and you have truly a fantastic work ethic. And again, that's just an amazing combination. It was so great having you in my class. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Alex, you have been such a calming presence in my class this year, which I have truly appreciated. And you are welcoming and inclusive, and just a really nice young man. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Angela, you are driven, you are self-aware, which is a very unique thing, and you are always willing to help others. It's been lovely getting to know you, and I am so thankful that you were in my class this year. Ezekiel, you always make me chuckle. You're very kind and respectful, hardworking, and very good at math. It was great getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Jeremiah, I still hope you become a teacher. I love that spark. I'll never forget it. You have a huge heart, and you have your priorities pretty much in check. I feel like how you see the world makes sense and is responsible, and you look out for those that you love. Keep working hard. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year, Jeremiah. Rama, you are detailed oriented in a really unique and incredibly useful and special way. You're a very hard worker, and you're incredibly friendly and kind, and I am so thankful that you were in my class this year. Josh P., you are kind, you're a very good friend, and you want to be successful, and you are successful, and you can be successful, so believe in yourself, don't forget that. I'm so thankful you are in my class this year, Josh. Nah, you are intellectually curious in an incredibly special way. You are passionate, and you're forward-thinking about the world. It was a pleasure getting to know you, and I am so thankful you were in my class this year. Josh R., you're silly. Again, you want to be successful, and you can be, and you've showed incredible growth this year. It was so great getting to know you, and I'm so thankful that you were in my class this year. Jimmy, you are a hard worker. You're yourself. You're funny. You're kind and respectful always, and you seem sure of who you are in a really special way. It was so lovely getting to know you this year, and I'm so thankful you were in my class. Zio, you are passionate. You have a desire for justice and a desire to stand up for what's right, which is a really, really special gift. And it was so great getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Zamir, you are funny, you want to be good, and you are good, and you've always been kind to me, and it was so great having you in my class this year, and I'm thankful for it. Randy, you are caring, incredibly responsible, and hardworking, and you're just a fantastic human that always makes me happy. I'm always happy to see you. I'm so thankful you were in my class this year, Randy. Caleb, you're kind, you're hardworking, you can be successful, absolutely. Those are all the skills you need for it. Make sure you believe in yourself, because you can be. It was a pleasure getting to know you, and I'm thankful you were in my class this year, Caleb. Kataylin, you are so clever, so funny. You pick things up incredibly quickly, and you have a huge heart. I'm so thankful that I got to know you and that you were in my class this year, Kataylin. You are so kind, you're a hard worker, you're friendly, you're inclusive, you bring people in, and again, you're truly yourself in a special way. And it was so lovely getting to know you this year. And I'm so thankful you were in my class. Maddie, you are self-aware, again, in a very unique way. You're funny, you're proud of who you are, as you should be, and you prioritize what matters, and you have a good sense of the world. It was lovely getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Anastasia, you are friendly, you always make me smile, you're a good friend, and just incredibly sweet and kind, and it was so lovely getting to know you and teach you this year. I'm thankful you were in my class. Lonnie, you are the definition of a hard worker, and you have a huge heart. Such important things in the world, really all that matters in the world. You epitomize both of those characteristics. It was so nice getting to know you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. And Zarek, you have shown huge growth this year, particularly at the end of it. You are funny, and you're nice and kind. Ultimately, absolutely, you're a nice and kind person who was nice and kind to me. It was lovely getting to know you and teach you, and I'm so thankful you were in my class this year. Wall 704, it's been quite a ride. You've seen some of my worst, you've seen some of my best, for sure. You brought out the best in me almost all the time. This was a challenging year for me, and you saw me going through a lot of those challenges and learning from it. But I know I've grown so much because of you, and I really, really enjoyed teaching you. Thank you for an amazing introduction to teaching, the teaching profession, and I'll remember you for years to come. You will always be one of my first classes of students. So thank you. Thank you for everything. And next year, you be sure, whenever you're allowed to, walk up those stairs and come say hi, because I'm going to have missed you. And I miss you already. Hope you can have a great summer, 704. See you next year.